In today's video, we'll be answering your burning questions. We call it MAQ, aka MAC. Most asked questions, as opposed to frequently asked questions.
I only see it. So now, the moment of truth, or the moment you guys have all been waiting for.
Hello, lovely people of the world.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
안녕하세요, 여러분.
Ahlan wa sahlan.
This is Justin.
This is Sarah.
And Sabrina.
Say hi. Say hi. Oh goodness. Clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Hey, blow kiss. Blow kiss. Alright, some of the questions you guys have asked.
Why aren't you guys wearing a mask at the zoo? First of all, we are following the guidelines that are set up by our chief medical officer in our area. And depending on which area you're living in, you have different restrictions, different laws based on your current situation in your area. Because even though it's the same virus, we are experiencing it differently. We are in different stages of economic reopening. In some parts of the world, the main driver of spread is different than other parts of the world. And also their hospital capacity is different based on where you are. So your medical officer would set out different rules for your area, and we are following what's set out in our area. The rule in our area is that masks are required when you're in public indoor spaces, but not required outdoor spaces.
Also, if you're outdoors and you're unable to distance yourself, is it 6 meters?
6 feet.
If you're unable to distance yourselves 3 meters apart.
2 meters.
Help me. Pregnancy brain. You're unable to distance yourself 2 meters or 6 feet apart from the next person. That's the time that you can wear a mask outdoors.
Wearing masks protects other people from you. It does not protect the wearer as much.
It doesn't protect you. The person that wears the mask is not wearing the mask to protect themselves. They're wearing the mask to protect others from themselves.
Unless you're wearing an N95 mask or you're wearing a full hazmat suit, then you're protecting yourself. If you're wearing any other kind of mask, like fabric mask, surgical mask, then you're not protecting yourself, you're protecting others.
From your spitting.
Right, because masks have gaps everywhere. It has gaps on the side and gaps on the top. So if there's a virus floating in the air, you're gonna breathe that in through the side gap or through the top gap or through the bottom gap. The fabric is not ready to filter any microscopic materials, so the virus could go straight through the fabric as well. If you're wearing a mask, just regular fabric mask, it doesn't prevent 100% of your air droplets exceeding your vicinity, but it would help cut down the significant number of air droplets that you are projecting towards the person in front of you if you're wearing a fabric mask. So that's why it helps protect other people from you, but it does not help the wearer from the virus.
Hi, my name is Dr. Dina Hinshaw. So first of all, what is the right tool for the job of protecting others? That is the non-medical mask. If you think about in the winter when you breathe out and you can see that cloud of droplets coming out of your mouth, it's that cloud that you're trying to keep in by using a non-medical mask.
Asymptomatic people from stopping the spread to others. So it's about really limiting the respiratory droplets exiting your mouth to go past that distance if you can't maintain that 2 meter distance. Individuals wearing the cloth masks to limit, and again, it's to decrease the amount of viral spread, then the cloth masks are sufficient.
So when we went to the zoo and we're wearing masks in the indoor area, we are protecting other people in case we are the ones who were asymptomatic carrier of the virus. And the precautions that we took while we were at the zoo was the distancing and hand hygiene, and those things were the way we protect ourselves. And kids such as Sabrina,
who are under the age of 2,
should not be wearing a mask.
According to our chief medical officer's guidelines, because they said that it is a suffocation hazard for children under 2 to be wearing a mask. Right, Bree? And our Bree is only 20 months old. Right, Bree? Yes. shoulders, knees, and toes, knees. And she's like, let's take a break.
And even if she is 2 years old, I don't think she's gonna keep the mask on for more than 8 seconds. As soon as you put the mask on, she's gonna rip it out and toss it on the ground. Some people are saying that we should not send Sabrina to dayhome because it's pandemic and Sabrina could be the carrier of the virus. Sabrina could get infected from the dayhome and bring it home to us.
Every parent has their own prerogative as to how they would raise their children and all that. And Justin and I have agreed that we would like to continue working full time while parenting Sabrina. Full time, maybe not full time. While also parenting and raising Sabrina. So in order for that to happen, what works for us is to send our little girl to a day home, a private day home. Like that's what works for us, and we prefer to send her to day home. Plus, Sabrina is learning so much, so fast, and if we are both working, it isn't fair for her that we are not able to give her all the attention that she deserves, and we're not able to, she's taking a peek, but you can only see forehead, and we won't be able to give her, you know, like, to actually teach her more, as opposed to having a designated care provider at the day home, educating her, teaching her new skills, helping her grow and develop according to her pace. So yeah, we really appreciate you guys' suggestions and concerns, but this is what works for us, and we really hope you would respect that.
Some people thought that the day home operator's husband was sick, which is not at all what we meant.
Justin was, oh my gosh, honey, you have to clarify that. Okay. Basically, I mentioned to the daycare provider that I was having symptoms, but I failed to mention that Justin, my husband, is also having symptoms.
Right, so we have no idea about the home operator's husband.
Yeah, but as far as we know, everyone at the day home is happy and healthy, and no concerns, because eventually, if you watch our previous COVID, our previous swab result video, you would know that we tested negative, and so everything's fine. It probably was just like a sinus infection or allergies, or I don't know, just a really bad cold.
And the next one is taking calculated risks. There are comments that saying that we should not go out to the zoo during pandemic, that our safety is our priority.
And that because I'm pregnant, I shouldn't be going out at all.
Including her work.
Yes.
But we are taking calculated risks. It's definitely a risk that there's a COVID virus floating around outside and we could catch it if you go outside. But the same thing with any other risks. Even before the whole pandemic, if you were to step outside, there's a chance that you're gonna get hit by a truck.
Or struck by lightning.
Everybody knows that risk, and yet people still go outside because the benefits of going outside and getting things done outweighs the risks.
Plus, we are taking precautions.
Exactly.
We really are, you guys. Like we're very mindful as to where our hands, what our hands touch, and where our hands go after that. He walks around with a sanitizer around his belt. We have sanitizers in each of our cars. Got sanitizer in my purse. They're everywhere. We do appreciate and understand your concerns. We really appreciate that you guys are worried about our safety and worried about this pregnancy and just genuinely concerned about our well-being. And we really, really appreciate that. We know that you guys are coming from a good place. But please understand that in order to prevent quarantine fatigue and in order to be able to get on with our lives and keep it as normal as possible while ensuring the safe health guidelines that are posed in our area, you know, we have to keep going. So I can't just not go to work because I'm like, oh, I'll be exposing myself and my pregnant self to the high risk environment that I work in. Or, you know, like we have to deprive Sabrina of oh my gosh, also. Or we have to deprive Sabrina of going outdoors, getting some fresh air, like, and learning more about animals and nature because of the whole pandemic. Like, we understand and we are taking precautions. In fact, our healthcare guidelines here actually dictate that we have to go out, that we should go out and get some fresh air, get some sunshine, and also go for walks, get some exercise. Because if we just sat at home, we would end up being like couch potatoes and gain unhealthy weight, you know, and we'll be depriving our daughter of learning, of like stimulating her senses when she's exposed to sunlight and greenery, and you know, just like the dirt road, just her running around and having fun and getting her, you know, bones moving, getting her muscles going, you know. So outdoors is the safest place to be anyway. I mean, we understand that there is the risk that there might be, you know, like the virus circulating in the air, but because the airflow is ever changing, they don't just flow, it doesn't just flow in one direction and like right straight at your face. And we make sure we maintain our distance as well. I know like at the zoo it did not seem like we were, but I mean the guidelines where we live, it was stated that our risk for contracting the virus is highest if we are exposed to a person that is less than 2 meters apart from us for more than 15 minutes. So at the zoo, we never stayed in one place for more than 15 minutes, even if there was somebody directly beside us. You know what I mean? Like we kept going. Like sure, we're beside each other. Like I'm talking about people that are not part of our family. We're beside each other in the sense we pass each other, right? But we never stay stagnant in one place for more than 15 minutes. So we are not being irresponsible like some of you are saying. I mean, I'm not going to be all defensive and say, no, we're very, very responsible. We're only human. We make mistakes. All I'm saying is that we understand your concerns. It's just that we are doing the best that we can to respect the guidelines that are being posed by our Chief Medical Officer of Health here in Alberta, Canada.
And also we need to take our mental health into account. If we just stay home all day, every day for months and months, we're gonna go stir crazy.
We're already a bit stir crazy. Like Justin and I find ourselves like arguing more because we're just not enough space, you know.
So going to the zoo helps us with our mental health as well. So we can't neglect mental health in these trying times. Just because there is a pandemic going around, that doesn't mean we should totally neglect our mental health. It's a balance act.
We're not trying to encourage all of you guys out there to do the same thing that we are doing. We are basically just doing what we feel works for us and what we feel is safest for our family. So please don't take this as like, oh well, Sarah and Justin are like going out to the zoo and Justin and Sarah don't wear a mask outdoors. Like please take into account and take into strong consideration the health guidelines and policies that your respective health agency or health department is posing in your area.
I think I heard somewhere in Europe they're saying masks are required even in outdoors.
There you go.
So different places have different restrictions because they're experiencing the virus in a different way because the reasons that I mentioned earlier.
Right. Okay, so enough of us like telling you guys off. We love you guys. All right, we just feel like, you know, there's a lot of things that needed clarifying, and this was our opportunity to do that. Like I said, we really appreciate your concerns, and yeah, we also appreciate your well wishes and all that good stuff, and all the love and all the support. All right, so now moving on to a few questions that I feel like I need to answer. Somebody had asked me, how come Sarah is not wearing her rings, like my wedding rings? Because of the pandemic, I know firsthand as a nurse that it is not hygienic to wear jewelry like around my fingers and wrists, because I would have to, because then I would have to maintain the best proper hand hygiene. So if I were to wash my hands and I'm wearing my rings, bacteria and all the germs would still be settling around the little nooks and crannies of the ring, right? And if I were to sanitize my hands, on top of that, if I were to sanitize my hands while wearing the rings, my rings would would wear off way faster because of the alcohol content in sanitizers and all that good stuff. Just generally speaking, I'm respecting the same guidelines that we have at work, which is to not wear any jewelry in the hands, especially whenever we would work, because that would help scrub off all the germs, all the bacteria every time we wash our hands, every time we sanitize our hands. That's my personal reason for not wearing my wedding rings. I also had to encourage Justin here not to wear his wedding band. See? Single again. So anyway, you guys all know that we are married, and all our friends and everyone around us know. It's not like we go clubbing or we go to the pubs or see, like, those are the precautions we take during COVID. We're like, yeah, we're not going anywhere just to socialize. You know, like every place we go to, we plan it ahead of time. We plan our steps. We plan whether it's safe enough to expose ourselves, whether the risk is worth taking, you know, whether the risk outweighs the benefits of going to certain places. All right, so to address your question about teaching Sabrina multiple languages, we are doing our very best. Thank you so much, you guys, for all your awesome suggestions. We have taken them into strong consideration, and we've started exposing Sabrina to both the Filipino and the Korean language. With Arabic and French, maybe we'll wait it out a little bit, because with French, she'll be learning that at school anyway when she begins. We want her to be able to master speaking English primarily, and then also to be able to at least understand Tagalog and Korean. Do you want to talk about the books you bought?
Okay. So from G Market, it's a Korean online store, I purchased several Korean picture books for Sabrina. So every night I read storybooks to Sabrina before bedtime, and I read about three books to her per night.
Three English books.
Yeah, and then I would read one Korean book to her as well.
But you could tell she's barely paying attention. It's like she knows. Like this early on, you guys are right. She's able to distinguish that this is a totally different language. Because when Justin reads to her in English, she pays like strong attention to it, and then as soon as he reads it in Korean, she's like, okay, where's the next book, or like, is there anything else out there that I can read, you know? But like slowly but surely she's starting to like, right? There's one Korean book that she likes, which is full of princesses and stuff.
Only Korean book she likes is about princesses.
Right, because of the glitter and the
the book about Ladybug, she hates that one.
Give her time. I think at least she's able to distinguish the difference in the sound, the phonetics of each language. So yeah, and then I tell my sister and my mom, I encourage them to speak to her only in Tagalog, and that I will do my best as well. So far, it's a bit of a struggle. It seems like she's able to distinguish that it is not English, but she's not able to quite understand what it is I'm trying to get her to do. But yeah, I think as of the moment, she thinks they're just like expressions that I'm using and not necessarily instructions. So we'll give it time. I mean, it's not too late. She's only 20 months old, right, Bree? Hopefully it's not too late. We won't stop though. Okay, next. A few of you are asking where I got my sunglasses from. Which sunglasses? This is from the petting zoo?
The one with the white top.
The white edges?
The white only on the top, and the bottom is different color.
So that, I'm a really cheap person. I got that from, it's unbranded, and I got that from a store here in Canada at a mall called Call It Spring. It's primarily a shoe store, but you know, I was browsing around and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have the money right now for shoes, and I don't think I'm in need of any shoes. And then I checked out their like jewelry stand, and then surprisingly they had really cute looking sunglasses. I'm like, hey, why the heck not? It was really cheap, you guys. It was like 2 for $20 Canadian.
So that's basically gas station sunglasses.
Yes. But see, I got a lot of compliments on that. Even my sister was like, oh, where'd you get that? I'm like, oh, at the shoe store. Wait, what? You know? It's unbranded, but it looks really good. I mean, a lot of the branded sunglasses don't really fit my face well, you guys. I've tried them. Either they're too big for my face or they're too small for my nose. And, you know, it tends to rest on my upper cheek here. Look at this girl. Alright, so now the moment of truth, or the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Justin here will be addressing the update on his family. What? The update on his family's knowledge and reaction thus far. Okay, how about I try to bring you up to speed. So the last time we discussed the family drama on YouTube, we're sort of trying to get you guys' advice and your opinions on whether or not we should be, Justin here should be telling his sister about being an aunt, or his sister about having a niece. Right, love? What's your update on that?
I have not told my sister about Sabrina. I don't think my sister is the reason why my parents are not coming around. So regardless of whether I tell my sister or not, I don't think that's going to change anything. I think the reason why my parents are not coming around in terms of meeting Sabrina is because they are ashamed of themselves. They don't think that they achieved what they want to achieve in life. I think they want to be in a situation where they want to flaunt their wealth to everyone. They used to do that. Like as soon as we came to Canada a long time ago, when we brought all the money that we had in Korea and we came to Canada, my parents were going to the Korean church and Korean hair salons and flaunting how much money they have and all that. And in today, they don't have any of those things anymore, and I think they're ashamed of that, and that's why they want to just go to a corner and hide. I think they think that they don't deserve Sabrina. I think that's why they're putting themselves in a corner and hiding. They feel embarrassed, and that they don't think they are good role models of grandparents.
Which is really shocking to me, because I'm like, is this part of your culture where you have to be at a good place financially and socially, like, and status wise, in order to come out of your home?
No, I think maybe, but I think it's very prominent in my parents' mentality.
I wonder, like, where they got that idea. You know, like, you have to be proud in order to show your face to the public. But it's not like your parents are struggling financially, are they?
I think so.
Maybe compared to you, but they're
Yeah.
not actually struggling because they have a roof over their heads, right?
Yeah,
They have money for groceries.
They own their own house.
There you go. And they're eating like healthy
I'm not sure about what
food.
they're eating. though.
I'm sure they're not eating spam.
Who knows?
Spam's healthy. That would be the title of our video. Spam is healthy. Okay, but mind you, this was not actually something that they had told you.
No.
This
It's just
is
my
just
hypothesis.
Because they're your parents.
Based on what they have done in the past.
Because they're your parents and you know them best.
Right.
Better than I do. So for me, it's unheard of. Like, I had no idea that that could possibly be a reason. I thought just because they don't like me.
I think that they're using that as an excuse. They don't want to see Sabrina and you and saying that we don't like you. They're saying that as an excuse, but in reality, I think there's something else going on. They're trying to hide the real reason why they don't want to come around.
Because they do go out to like groceries, right?
Yeah, but they stopped going to Korean church. They stopped going to the Korean hair salon.
So they stopped basically socializing with others. They would
Yeah.
only go out for necessities such as groceries, and that's
Yeah.
it. So there you go, you guys. That's a development there that I bet most of you did not even guess would have been a reason, right, Pooh?
I didn't even know until recently when I started thinking really hard about it, and then that's the conclusion that I came to. But still, it's a hypothesis.
But it's the strongest one you got, right?
Yeah.
Speaking about your parents and all the drama behind it, they're also, like, a few of our viewers were also wondering whether they know about the second pregnancy.
Yeah, I haven't told my parents or my sister about the second pregnancy. If they are watching our YouTube video, they would know, but I haven't personally told them.
Do you know whether they know that we have a YouTube video?
My
mean
guess,
channel, I should
my guess is no, because my parents are really backwards in terms of technology.
But your sister has a PhD in computer science, right?
If my sister knows, she's not revealing it to my parents. That's my theory.
So you're saying there's a high likelihood that your sister might know and still not tell your parents. But why? What is the mentality behind that? Why wouldn't she tell your parents about it? Because wouldn't she be, like you said, there's a lot of rivalry between the two of you, right? Wouldn't she be like so excited too? That's right.
No, I think that would cause you more rivalry. And then mom would say something like, "Oh, your brother has a YouTube channel that has like 100,000 subscribers. And what about you? You can't even get YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers." And then that would set off another rivalry in my sister's mind. And I think that's the reason why she's afraid of bringing this thing up to the parents.
Interesting. But is your mom actually, does she have the tendency to do that? To make your sister feel down and sort of encourage this rivalry between siblings?
I think she have done that in the past. Oh, but sometimes I think it's my sister's self-doing, that she thinks the mom's gonna bring that up, so she would bring it up first, just so that she has the defense for everything. If my sister knows about our YouTube channel and she knows that we have a baby, and the reason why she would not bring that up to my parents is because she doesn't want to seem like that she's the failure, that she's still not married, still has no kids. Because if my sister were to mention about our channel to our parents, then my sister thinks that the conversation topic would naturally go into the path of, well, then how come, you're not married, or when are you gonna get married? My sister thinks that's the path the conversation is going to go, and she doesn't want to have that conversation.
So in your family's culture, it is seen as an embarrassment that the older sibling, that being your sister, is still unmarried and still does not have kids, when the younger sibling, which would be you, is married and has a kid and another one on the way. Okay, I just want to clarify that that your sister doesn't just, she's not just making things up in her head. That's just a culture that your family has always.
I think my sister doesn't care maybe about getting married or having kids, but she knows that my mom cares. So my sister knows that every time, if a topic were to come up about her brother being married and having kids, then my mom would naturally go into the conversation of, well, why don't you get married and have kids? And my sister doesn't want to have that conversation with my parents, so she's avoiding everything that has anything to do with me having married or having kids.
But then again, these are all just speculations, hypotheses, based on Justin's best judgment.
I think there might be a little bit of a mental health issue going on with my sister. I'm not sure.
But you guys used to be so close, right?
Yeah. We used to be so close, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why.
TikTok, what? Elsa, do you want to build a snowman? Let me see. Come on, let's go and play. Anyway, I guess another thing that people are wondering is, have you been, when was the last time you've been in contact with your family? Why or why not?
Last time that I contacted my family was last Christmas. That's Christmas of 2019.
Was that when you gave them the gift of
The portrait.
Sabrina's? Is it Sabrina's photo? Yeah. It's a portrait, like a picture frame.
Yeah.
Because you were trying to invite them to her first birthday.
Yeah.
Jabby. Oh, go look at this girl. You were saying?
Oh, I think there was a comment. I think a couple of people mentioned that why is Justin keep saying that Sabrina looks like Korean to my parents, right?
Okay.
And
Because she does.
well, I'm not trying to be racist. It's just that my parents are in their 70s and they're not gonna learn anything new at this point. So I have to, in order for my parents to accept Sabrina, I have to work the angle that they know, my parents know. And my parents know someone who looks like Korean is Korean. That's what they know.
And that's just the culture, you guys. He wasn't being racist. Because if he was being racist, I would have been offended. And I'm telling you, I'm not offended at all. Like, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, in order to convince my parents to come see
Just
Sabrina,
come see their grandchild, you know.
I have to work the angle that they can understand. They're not gonna understand about Black Lives Matter or any of those stuff. To them, that's just gibberish. So I can't go in that angle. I have to go in the angle that they would understand, which is this baby looks like Korean, therefore she's Korean. So why can't you go see your Korean granddaughter?
Right. But what are your views or feelings personally about Sabrina's looks?
I think she looks just like me.
I'm sorry, what?
She looks just like me.
Oh, she looks like you, huh? She looks like me. If you've seen, oh my God, we should show like pictures. Can I show pictures of us?
Of what?
Of us during her age group. Our little girl is climbing stuff. She's a little mountain goat. Right? Are you
She
a
likes
baby
to
mountain
climb
goat?
our TV stand.
What's all this white stuff? Oh my God, what has she been eating? If you can post pictures of what I look like and what you look like around her age. And then let them be the judge of whether Sabrina looks like me or looks like you.
I think she still looks like me.
Look at her lips.
That's the only giveaway.
Oh, and her nose. Those are my nose. That's my nose, right, Bree? Lips, nose. Those are my... And eyelids. She got eyelids. Okay, I'm not being racist, y'all. I'm just saying. He don't got no eyelids and I got mini eyelids.
You mean the fold or crease on the eyelids?
Sure.
Because everybody has eyelids.
No. You don't. So bad. Anywho. Yeah, let's clarify that, you guys. So whenever Justin exposes himself and Sabrina to his side of the family, it's usually because, not because he wanted to, it's usually because, what, I push you to, right? Yes, let's clarify that. Let's clear the air. I'm the one encouraging Justin here to maintain a relationship with his parents and his sister. Otherwise, he would have said, oh, you know, they don't care, so why should I? Right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Busted. She's in the background climbing stuff. Yeah, you haven't addressed why you haven't communicated with your family since December. Is it because, like, are you holding a grudge because they haven't showed up or reached out for her first birthday in January?
No.
What then? Come to Mama. Mama. She always says Mama, Papa, Mama, and Papa. You hungry?
Mama.
Honey? I know, we better hurry. We can make you some food. Go drink water, Bree. Drink your water.
Why do I not communicate with my parents?
Have you been holding a grudge?
No.
So that you know for sure you're not holding a grudge.
Yeah.
So are you offended at all that they haven't reached out to see your daughter? So, like, why is it so wrong for you to just... I'm not asking you to, like, show up. I'm just saying, just pick up the phone and go like, hey, how is everybody? This pandemic is crazy, yo. Make sure you all take care of yourselves. How come you don't, do that? I'm a bad son. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bad boy. But no more freebies. Right?
I feel sheepish. All right, you bad boy, but no more freebies.
You bad son.
That's right.
I mean, especially they're in the high risk, aren't they? Don't they belong to the high risk population? They're in their
Almost.
70s?
Yeah.
So are you gonna pick up the phone after this and say, yo, what's up?
No.
Why? This is my question, because you're insisting you don't garner any resentment or anger towards them, and yet you refuse to pick up the phone. That has nothing to do with embarrassment on their part. In your background.
No, I think it's because that we never grew up in a family where we call each other just to say hi type of family. I mean, even when I was living on the same roof as my parents, we never had a dinner together in the same time. We never had that kind of family conversation.
Like, how's your day?
Yeah, that question never came up.
I thought your dad does ask you. Like, he bothers you in your bedroom and goes like, how was work? Isn't that what you say?
Yeah, sometimes, but it's very contrived. It doesn't come naturally.
But you are going to raise your kids in our family in that culture where we always ask them how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We always check in on them.
Right.
We don't give them their space. What? So bad. No, I mean, we'll always make sure that they know that we are here for them to discuss even the littlest, silliest, not as important things, and also more importantly to discuss major issues that they're going through, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
How do you think you'll be able to do that when you never had that role model growing up?
I'll just do it with Sabrina. Just start fresh with Sabrina.
No, you say, yo, girl, what's up?
Exactly. I don't have to bring anything. I don't have to carry anything over from my time that I lived at my parents' house. Just start fresh with Sabrina. Hey, this video has been going so
Stop.
long.
How long is it?
54 minutes.
Only? What qualities have you picked up what qualities about your parents' parenting methods to take risks?
What are we doing here? We're not gonna put any of this in our film because this is
should.
not most asked question. It's never asked the question.
This was a never asked question. See, that's funny. You have to add that part. Anyway, maybe we'll discuss more about parenting in another video.
Let's say our goodbyes.
Because I'm hungry and I'm
Okay,
sure our
let's
daughter
go.
is.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Say bye.
Blow kiss.
Blow kiss. Oh my god. We love you. Love with standards.
Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Please support our channel because we appreciate every single one of you guys and we read every single one of your comments. So keep them coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say 1, 2, 6. Those are just the numbers that she mentioned. Right?
2 and 6 are her favorite numbers.
Because those are the numbers of Mama's and Papa's wedding anniversary.
26.
26. Right, little finger? No kiss, not kiss, blue kiss.
Blow kiss.
Blue kiss. Blue kiss. Ay, nako, she's hungry na.